Good afternoon to everyone in North Norfolk. So this week I'm answering some of your questions again. And the first question comes from a resident of Hoveton, and they've asked about the one-way system that they think we're introducing. We are not introducing a one-way system into Hoveton. We are in some towns and villages around the area, but not there. Basically for safety reasons, keeping people not crossing the main Norwich Road all the time, which is obviously busy, and in some areas it would be very difficult for disabled people to access. So no one-way system coming in Hoveton. What we are doing is trying to look at allowing queuing in sensible manners and helping people to identify how to queue safely in those areas. So we are doing that. We are trying to support our businesses in that area, and hopefully you'll be able to see those measures coming into place in the next couple of weeks. Question number 2 comes from a business owner in Sheringham asking about bed and breakfasts and when they're going to be open and whether we'll be able to provide help and advice when they do. So obviously we are, like everyone, waiting for government advice on this, and just as soon as that's available we'll obviously make sure we are passing that information down to everybody else. We'll also make sure that once it's available we do all we can to support businesses get ready to welcome visitors back to this area of Norfolk. So look out, keep your eye on the media channels, and as soon as we get anything we will pass it on to you. So the next question comes from a lady in Hoveton, and it's about our public facilities. And really what she wanted to know was how often we're cleaning those each day. So the clean regime for those has been ramped up by our provider Serco, and they are doing a much deeper clean each time they go than we would have normally had. Obviously it's not cost effective to have toilet attendants these days, but we will and we are doing everything we can to keep residents and visitors safe when they use those facilities. Please remember to wash your hands. There is signage going up to remind people, and there is provision being made in other areas of our towns as well. You'll soon see extra hand sanitising stations arriving. So please remember to keep washing your hands, keep clean at all times to minimise the risk of passing on the infection. So this question also covers a bit of the last question, and basically this one is about putting chairs and tables outside cafes and restaurants in our towns and villages, and it also reverts back to the last one a little bit about hand washing. We have to follow the government guidelines on all of these things, and certainly at the moment the government guidelines are that we can't allow takeaway outlets to have tables and chairs outside their premises for people to consume what they've purchased in that area. There are 2 reasons for this. One is that obviously it makes social distancing when queuing outside much more difficult, and also particularly in North Norfolk we have a lot of narrow pavements, so the minute you put tables and chairs onto those pavements it makes it even more difficult for people to social distance. We are looking at ways we can try and overcome this by having different areas assigned in towns. We're looking at even buying some benches ourselves to put into those locations to try and help support those businesses. Yes, it does seem draconian at times, and yes, it does seem difficult at times, but these measures have been put in place to keep us all safe, and just as soon as we can relax them under the government guidelines, we will. So please bear with us while we're working to protect you. So don't forget, our You Are Welcome campaign is now ongoing, and you'll see changes happening to the locations around you over the coming weeks till the end of the month, until the 4th of July, when hopefully we'll see the next set of restrictions lifted. So, can I ask you please, where you do see signage, don't draw graffiti on it, don't pull it down. We are doing our best to help you to keep safe over this period. It takes time and costs the local taxpayer money to keep replacing this signage, and it slows down our preparations to get these areas ready to welcome both you and our visitors back just as soon as is possible. So please, from me, from the team here, work with us to help you. So for this week, thank you very much, and look forward to speaking to you again soon. Bye bye.